Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Let's get into it. Welcome to my Asshole Podcast. Today is not Sunday. It is Monday. We are filming this on a Sunday, obviously, or on a Monday. I'm sorry. Obviously, it's going to come out on a Sunday. But, oh man, how has it been? We got our boy, the Rick 4, back in the house.
Yeah.
What's going on with you?
It's just been absolutely a busy time for myself. That's why we're not filming on a Sunday. Just been trying really to put my nose to the grindstone, as they say, and get everything grinding on. No, but yeah, the grind's been good. There's a new opportunity out there, and you guys are no strangers to it. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. You guys have been talking to me in the DMs and on my page and whatnot about like the journey, how everything's going. So, it's been absolutely crazy, and I'm glad to be back in the office.
Oh man, it is good to have you back, man. All right, so we got a lot to go over today. We got some funny stuff to go over. We're gonna be doing some women stuff, of course. But this first video, it was funny because we did it on last week's show. So on last week's show, we talked about, we showed a skit of how, like, when you're in a fight, your girl holds you back and pretty much you lose the fight. And I'm going to show you our clip, and we're going to show you the skit that we showed. But then we're going to show you some real life examples that we found, because we look at it like showing a skit is fine, whatever. It illustrates things that happen, stuff like that. But when you see it real time, that's when it's different. All right, and we don't have just one video. We got two solid examples of a dude getting his shit rocked because his girlfriend. And so we're going to show that right now. We're going to get into our video. We'll show our video. We'll show the skit, and then we'll show the real shit. All right, so here we go. Damn.
He gets me every time.
You know what I punch with?
Look.
All right, so that's pretty much that one.
That's clip number 1.
So that was pretty much just giving you an idea of the skit that we showed. But now we're going to show you real life examples of this actually happening. All right, this is not just a skit. This actually happens. So here we go. Wham!
Ladies, if you're hot.
And that shit happens so fast, bro.
So fast.
Oh my god.
Women don't understand. Like, I get it. They're like trying to get between, stop the whole thing. It happens so quickly.
It's so quick.
Just minor inconvenience.
And even this next clip, it's gonna be just even quicker, dude.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, all right, stop.
Aim for the head, you can find it.
Get away from him. Damn. Just dead. He was winning. He was winning. And she was like, no, holding him back. No. And he was just like, now's my cue to come from nowhere and knock you the boop out.
It's because he had to compensate for her holding on to him.
Yeah,
he got thrown off.
He didn't want to punch her.
Yeah, he got thrown off. The other dude took the advantage. And the life lesson here is not only in an actual event of peril or like an actual situation of peril where you have to fight. Is this important to have a girl that's not going to do this to you? Even in life, in your career, it is just it's the exact same premise, right? Your girl can hold your arms behind your back in your career as well by
That's
trying
true.
to take up too much of your time, too much of your like mental space, and
True.
she will get you knocked out in your goals in life as well. So you really got to pay attention and pick your partners very strategically, because you don't want to end up with like we saw, with so much momentum winning the fight, and then those minor inconveniences, because she wasn't like jumping in the way or like hanging on to him really
Like
really
the
bad.
first girl
like the
was.
first girl, yeah, she
Yeah.
got him absolutely fucked up immediately.
Yeah, she was like in the way,
Yeah.
in the way, and homeboy just took one hit. He was like, he died, gone.
Yeah, he skedaddled, and she didn't even go down over to help him. She
no,
probably
no.
Yeah.
She was just like, dang, my boyfriend's a bitch. He got
Yeah.
knocked the fuck out. Like,
Yeah.
what? No shit, I got knocked out because you were in the way.
You were in the way, and that's you gotta just really pay attention. And ladies, I'm gonna put it onto the ball in your court for this one a little bit. Don't be the woman that gets their man knocked out and be like, my man sucks.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it, but I'm just throwing it out there because I gotta be fair, right? Both sides.
Yeah.
Men, don't pick partners that'll hold your arms behind your back. Women, don't hold your man's arms behind his back.
That pretty much, yeah. Because dude, it's like, if you're gonna do that, man, she was. I truly think if she's doing that, bro, she's been plotting your downfall.
Yeah.
She's just been She's like, yes, the excuse, the perfect reason to finally break up with you.
The one that really did it for me, right, is because I showed him the second clip, and he was like, I don't see how this could go wrong for that guy, like the guy that's winning. Like, what do you mean? And I was like, just wait, dude. She hopped in, and that guy probably suffered some pretty bad brain damage. I'm not going to lie. Because he got hit and fell straight onto the back of his head, and then he was like clobbering him.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, it's crazy how quickly the tides can turn with just a woman barely stepping in and getting in the fucking way.
Yeah, dude. Damn, man. Yeah. We wanted to show, because, look, man, again, it's one of those things where it's like, we can show a skit, and that's fine, and it's funny and whatever. But when you show an actual real life example of that shit, it kind of hits hard.
Yes.
You're like, oh, damn. All right, there's no caps in our raps on this show, so we try to come to y'all with the facts, baby. We try to come with you guys with proof. Like, hey, we said it even before. Like, just because they're skits doesn't mean it doesn't happen in real life.
Yes.
Like, that is a perfect quintessential example of what we mean by, these skits are just skits on TikTok or whatever. But there are times where this shit happens. This is somebody's life. You know what I mean? Whether it's like dude getting his girl stolen at the club, or it's a dude getting cheated on by, he's just my best friend. It doesn't matter, bro. Or you get knocked the fuck out by some guy because your girl got in the way. Yeah. It's all an accurate representation of just what actually could happen in the real world. But all right, these oh my goodness. So maybe you have, maybe you haven't. I don't know. A lot of women are online right now talking about men don't chase anymore. Men don't yearn anymore for women. And I wanted to get your thought on that. So I'm going to play a video of her explaining like her, I guess, frustration of why men don't yearn anymore. Then I'm going to show you a video from the guy side. And then I want your opinion.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
What the heck happened to guys chasing girls? No, like seriously. I love asking couples and friends that I come across on how they met their boyfriend, and literally every freaking person just says, oh, on a dating app. What the hell happened? What happened to guys like being so obsessed with a girl that they see? They have an instant connection. And then girls play hard to get. And then the guy does anything in his power to win that girl over. Where the hell are these stories? Like, my dad chased my mom for so long. And literally every single one of my friends, especially the European ones, all of their dads chase their moms. I literally never hear these stories anymore. It's so sad. What the heck?
Okay. Now that one. Then we're going to show this one.
So yesterday, I was out trying to grab something to eat, whatever. So I tried to say hi to this girl. You feel me? She was sitting down with her friend, whatever. And I'm trying to say, what's up? You get me? Bro, she said, in order for you to say hi to me or talk to me, you got to pay for this bill. I said, well, I'll keep my mouth shut. You get me? I'll keep my mouth shut. So I get up. I guess she's getting ready to leave or whatnot. You get me? And then the bill came. The bill came. The waiter walks up to me with the bill. I said, whose bill is that? She then told the waiter to come to me as she's walking outside. So I said, waiter, you better go chase that girl or call the police. Because I'm not paying this bill. The girl is damn near outside. After she then told the waiter, go to that guy for the bill. She's pretty much outside. So then I told the waiter, I said, if you love your job, you better go get that money. So then she runs up to her and said, hey, ma'am, you got to pay your bill. Then she looks at me. And then I look back. Yes, you got to pay your bill. Can you imagine? A high now means I have to slap. I'll keep my mouth shut. If you want to talk to me, you got to pay this bill. I'm sorry for bothering you. I'll never speak again. So yeah.
All right. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's the it kind of illustrates itself in these two clips where women are like, what? You know, I think the idea is previously, women had no real other way of understanding if men were willing to commit without playing like this hard to get kind of facade, right?
Okay.
And so the idea prior, I think when, you know, the generations before us, when they would like be in social settings, they kind of had to, you know, play that cat and mouse game of like, all right, I see you here every day. I have no idea if you're going to be able to commit to me. Like, what can we do here to like have some type of interaction where I can kind of gauge on that, right? So of course, men were like, I'm the pursuer, I'm the hunter. Like, I'll sharpen my skills and figure out how I'm gonna like get this woman. I will commit through my actions by doing this. And then the woman would play hard to get to see if, you know, adversity was something that he was willing to overcome for, you know, me, and is he a person that is willing to overcome adversity and willing to stick through, right? And so they had that kind of dynamic. And then what happens is with these newer generations, they took it and ran with it. And now they're like, what can I just get from men to see how long I can run this race and get as much as I can from him, with this idea of there should be some type of chase for me because I'm the prize, right? I don't think women back in the day had the notion of I'm the prize. I think they just wanted a man that was serious about what the fuck he said. So they were like, is he going to commit to me, right?
Either that or I think they understood that the man is the prize. I think they looked at it like, bro, there aren't many men I can find that have the qualities that he has, that has the go-get he has, that is willing to put in all the things like you said, where he's sharpening his skills, he's, you know what I mean, being consistent, being there. Like, I just think that like you said, that mindset is just gone. They're like, no, it's me, I'm the prize. Nope, guys are just a dime a dozen. There's 6-foot dudes everywhere. There's millionaires everywhere. And it's like, that's just not the case.
Right. And so that, and that's what I was getting at. I wasn't quite there yet, but the idea is still just that, right? Because in reality, what happens a lot of the time is no matter really what you do, it's who you are that really cultivates the interaction. Mm-hmm. So creepy things can be done creepily, but can be done very upfront and very at the beginning of the relationship. But you have to be able to back those actions with being that dude in the end, right? I.e., what I'm getting at is it was very common in Mexico or in other countries for women to just be kidnapped off the street and be married off that way, right? Not, I won't say like every relationship was that, but that did happen, right? I know I have family members that have talked about it, stuff like that, right? Or the same thing with like men kind of just pick their woman and then they just stick to it enough to where the woman's like, well, he's actually not that bad of a dude, you know? Like, I guess I'll stick around and, you know, be happy about it, because you got to think about it in the regards from the woman's perspective. A man that knows what he wants, takes it, and then looks after it is the key point. is not a bad dude, right? It may be a little brash to do it that way, but at the end of the day, right? There's plenty of women out there that have expressed these stories of like, yeah, I was talking to my meemaw, whatever the fucking case may be, whoever, my aunt, whoever, and they said, yeah, they just got like plucked off the street essentially, and
Just got clubbed in the dome and
then
dragged off.
yeah, and they got drug off, or this guy wouldn't leave me the fuck alone, and then eventually I kind of softened up to him because you gotta admire a guy with that kind of stick-to-itiveness, and here you are. Now we have generations down the line because he just wouldn't give the fuck up,
Yeah.
But now I think, like we were saying before, women, like, back then kind of understood, all right, this guy kind of is a prize once I look at it, whereas now women have took that behavior and they're like, I'm the prize and this is why that's happening, so now I'm gonna just try to have this whole dynamic of dance until I fucking like you enough, or I may never do, and I just kind of want to watch you dance the entire time,
Yeah,
that's the problem we run into.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm still under the. We did an episode, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, where it was just like I posed the question of, damn it, it was like. Women want love, but they're the ones that killed it. Something off that degree. I have the name of it somewhere here. Did love die and women killed it? Yeah, I posed that question, and I don't know. I got a mixed view. I got a mixed bag on it, but it was just like I just still think it's true, because it's like we are willing to give that love. We're willing to put that into the woman. But a lot of times it's just like, you find a girl and you think to yourself, man, you have an idea. Cause I truly believe men date, women date opportunistically, and then men date like, fuck, I am blanking out so hard today. Men date like they think of a fantasy of the girl. They're like, oh my god, I think this is how she's going to be. I just cannot fucking think of the word right now. I'll probably think of it later on. But men will look at a girl and they'll be like, oh my god, I can see a future with her. I can see us having kids. I can see this. I can see that. Women, though, I think they kind of date on the principles of more of like, okay, is this guy a good enough opportunity for me to be able to put myself in a good position, or put myself in like some like being able to level up. And obviously we have a name for that. Obviously it's hypergamy, and we can talk about hypergamy all day long, but I just think it's a simple thing of like, when we go ahead and look at today's like dating standard, for women it's the thing where they have so much opportunity. And since they date opportunistically, they're like, all right, what is the biggest, best opportunity? I don't care if it's good for me, and they try to have, I think, the mindset that, because what I'm getting at is you can take the idea of a girl getting plucked off the streets. Okay. And her being with the guy and being like, you know what, this guy is very tenacious. He wants me, all this stuff, and I'm going to grow to like him. I think women kind of take that idea and they're just like, if he is rich enough, successful enough, and he can do enough for me, then I can overlook the fact that he's fat. I can overlook the fact that he has other women. I can look over the fact that he's got all these other blaring bad red flags to him. Why? Because the opportunity is more than what anyone else can give me at that time. So I'm going to just choose that. And I think for guys, we look at it like, we see a girl and we kind of have that old school mentality of like, oh my God, I can see the white picket fence, I can see kids, and I can see that. And I just don't think guys have gotten out of that yet. We haven't got with the new normal of like relationships and dating and stuff. I think a lot of guys think like, yeah, I can work, a decent job, make 50,000. I can make 37 to 50,000 a year, and I can still get a girlfriend and everything's okay. And then they struggle with girls and they wonder why, and they go online and they're like, what the fuck? Why isn't this girl texting me back? Why can't I get another date? Why can't I get a girl to go out with me? Why is she flaking with me all the time? I just think it's one of these things where we're like this. And women are like up here as far as how they date and see things. And guys are still down here at the old norm, you know, of like, you be sweet. You can take a girl to a little sock up and a burger and this and that and to a movie. I just think guys are very old school, to where women are kind of now in this technological, like, I'm going to get the best I can get. And I'm not settling for anything less. And I think that's where we're kind of like missing each other. And I think that's why the idea of love has died, because since women are opportunistic lovers, they're going to go with the biggest and best opportunity, no matter if the guy has a bunch of red flags, if he's, you know, hitting on her, this and that. She's just like, I got a black eye, but at least I got a black eye in a Bentley. You know, and you see a lot of girls say that. They're like, oh man, I rather cry in a Lamborghini than, you know, in a Corolla. And you see that all the time. Like, they're willing to date these really shitty dudes because they're the best opportunity. And guys, we're just like, oh man, I just want a girl that is gonna, you know, play video games with me and I can take her out every once in a while. I don't know. That's just kind of what I've seen and how I'm kind of coming to that, especially with something like this where homie is just trying to have a simple conversation with the girl and she's just like, I'll pay for this. And you're just like, whoa, hold up. I was hoping we would start slow and, you know, do it old school, because you could tell he was probably an old school guy. He's probably about our age, you know, where we come from, the idea of like you didn't meet your wife and just be like, I have money. You know what I mean?
No,
yeah, you guys talked. You guys got to know each other. You guys went on little dates. You guys probably went to the park, or you went to the mall, or you went to the movies. Like, I feel like you can't do that nowadays anymore. Take a girl to a movie and she's just like, nigga, what? Like, what the fuck is this? Why are we doing this? I don't know. I'm just, I'm still so steadfast on that whole idea of, you know, like, is love dead and women killed it?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. It's kind of sad in a way, because like thinking back on it, like some of the times that, I mean, like he mentioned, I would take my wife just to like Costco or whatever, you know what I mean? Like back when we were like first dating, like we would just go out to like the store together or whatever, and she was happy with that. I was happy with that. That was fine. A lot of the times as well, early in our relationship, we would just sit quietly in a room together, which is like weird, but like looking back on it, like it wasn't weird. We were just like, whatever, dude, you know. But the idea is still like that probably couldn't happen nowadays for sure. Like if two people were sitting in a room for more than 5 seconds with silence, they'd probably be like, yeah, you're a piece of shit. Like I don't want you here.
Yeah, they would just be like, oh, the vibe is off and I'm not feeling this, or you're awkward and you're weird. And it's like, because me, I'm the type of guy, look, I always tell women this, like I'm very straightforward when I date a lot of women, and I tell them, look, because they always ask me, oh, you know, what is your idea of like what a relationship is? And I think they're trying to do that to kind of gauge lifestyle, which is fine. That's okay. And I tell them all the time, I'm like, you know what? My perfect idea of a relationship is you and I are able to be in a room without talking to each other and still be able to enjoy our time. Like I'm on my game, or I'm on my computer working, or I'm doing something like that, and you're watching a movie, or you're reading your book, or you're doing something that you enjoy and I'm doing something that I enjoy, and as long as we're in the same room together, we're happy.
Yeah.
If I can't have that kind of relationship in a girl, I don't want it. I just don't, because it's like that tells me that you're not there for me. You are there for something materialistic, or some type of thing that I have to constantly be giving you, whether it's attention, it's money, it's gifts, it's whatever it may be. I have to constantly be giving you this in order for you to be happy. You can't just be happy us enjoying our time together. Like he said, they would sit in a room and not do anything. But the thing is she was happy doing that. She was just like, as long as he's right there, I'm good. Yeah. I'm chilling. Dude could be on his phone. He could be playing his video game. I don't give a shit. I'm happy. I'm good. Like that. I always, and I'm telling you, I'm 0 for like, 50. If I'm being real, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna cap for anybody. I'm not gonna cap for nobody. I've yet to find a woman that can do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've had women in my past that could do that. You know what I mean? But, in the dating world, since I've been single, I have not been able to find that. And a lot of girls look at me crazy, like, what? Oh, you just want to be bored all the time? You just want to lock me up in your house? Like, no, of course we're going to go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm talking in between the having fun, in between the conversations and the tickling and the, watching movies together and cuddling and sex and whatever it may be. In the in-between moments when we're not really doing stuff and we're not really interacting with each other, whatever case may be, even if we're living with each other, like, he lives with his wife, but he's not hanging out with her 24/7, in the in-between moments, can we be happy in a room where we're not interacting with each other, but as long as we're in that room together, we're still happy? Like, a lot of girls can't do it though. They can't. And I'm like, dang, that kind of sucks. So I don't know. All right. You guys let us know what you think about it in the comments, I guess. You know what I mean? Why do you guys think that men don't chase anymore? Is it because, like, that video of the guy being like, I have to pay for shit? Is it like me, where you think, love is dead and women killed it? Do you think it's like what the Riga said? It's more of, the old school ideals and traditions just aren't there anymore? What do you think it is? Or you have your own ideas. All right. So these ladies are going to pose a question to you and to me, and we're going to react to it.
Okay.
So.
Question for the guys. Let's say you walk into a first date. The girl gets there a little bit earlier than you. She's sitting at the bar, and another guy has already approached her, is talking to her, like just keeping her company, whatever. Maybe he's flirting with her, but are you going into it like feeling jealous and like mad at her because she let it happen and she's just being friendly? Or does it boost your ego because you're like, oh, like the girl I'm meeting with tonight is like hot, she got hit on? Like, I'm just like wondering what the vibe is for that. Quick.
Okay. So what is the vibe for that, Riga?
Jesus.
Oh, goddamn Valley girls.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Thank God I've never had to experience that in real life.
Oh,
But,
God, they're the worst. I went on a date with a few of them. It's bad. And it's one of those things where, like, you're trying to figure out if they're putting on an accent or not. You're like, is that how you really talk?
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like, say pineapple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
you just want to hear if they're putting that shit on or not. But sorry, go ahead.
No, it's all good, brother. The idea that first came to mind for myself is, I mean, yeah, like it makes sense where I wouldn't say that's like a boost to the ego, because men will, like, there's always a man that will approach no matter what, as well as like women kind of are the ones that are typically approached anyway. So like, I wouldn't be like, oh, she's so hot that she was approached, you know what I mean? That's not like a boost to the ego, but like I would understand. The other part to that is, I'm not feeling jealous if she like lets it happen. I'm just gonna be like, why are you letting it happen? You know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like, especially with how, in my experience with prospects, that when you approach them on the phone, in person, whatever the case may be, when you approach them with some type of solicitation, as you will, that they do not want, they are so quick to shut it down, back out, find some way to not be in that conversation.
God,
right?
man,
because
that's
they
facts.
do not want it.
Woo.
So the idea here is, if she's like, oh, I'm being nice, like, no one stays on a sales call to be nice. Like, oh, well, I'll say it's a select amount of people do, right? We have a term for them, but the idea is those people, no matter what scenario they're in, will kind of let that stuff wash over them because they're very scared of conflict, right? Assuming a woman's not being like that, it's very common for them to be like, no, I'm actually going to be, I'm on a date here, like, in a second, dude. You're going to scare him away. Get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Like, if you're that guy,
Yeah.
she will be like, no, I'm sorry. I'm on a date. I'm actually about to meet
yeah, like,
my guy
like,
or my
do
date.
not fuck this up for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Get away, you know?
Facts.
And if she's not being like that, one, that's perfect feedback for you to know, like, hey, you're probably not that guy and there's something that's a little off, as well as two, then she's probably not the girl for you either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's that middle ground of, like, she may not be swayed to you yet, but that's still feedback for you to know, like, hey, there's a cap in my rap that's not really fucking driving the point home of she should not be trying to still be on the market while waiting for me. You know?
She's still iffy about you.
Exactly.
She's still like, I'm gonna weigh out this option, see if this is, you know, because it's not like you're late. It's not like, you know, she just got there early.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's a good sign of, like, wow, she really likes you.
Yeah.
Because trust me, man, the amount of dates I've been on and girls been early, fuck that. No, that's never happened. They're always a couple minutes late or they're right on time. And my thing is, like, I'm gonna, like, flip it on her, because if this happened the other way around, see, this would be attractive to her. That if she walked in and her guy was early and a really beautiful girl was actually talking to him, and this would actually be why, because this would show social proof. This would show, wow, okay, if a really gorgeous girl like her is talking to him, then I must have a guy. I must have the guy. Like, holy shit. That's not the way it is for guys, though. We don't get more attracted seeing our girl talking to another guy. We don't. We look at that as like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? But women see that attractive. Why? Because you guys need social proof. You guys need to kind of have your friends or another girl or a group of girls, or, you know, for them to have like female friends or whatever it may be. You need to have another female there to kind of sign off on this guy. Like, he's good, girl. Don't worry about it. He's not creepy. He's not weird. He doesn't, you know, do shit that would make you want to run out of the damn building. And so the thing is that's why she's posing that question, because she's coming at it from the female lens of, like, if I saw a guy talking to a really hot girl at the bar and I got there, and I would think that's hot, because I'm like, damn, if that girl was talking to him, then he must be a good guy. But we don't like that. We're like, no. See, my thing is, how I would handle something like that is, you know, I'd walk up to him. I'd be like, hey, how about I buy you two a drink? You know what I mean? And judge it from that happenstance, where I'm not really competing. I'm more of just kind of handing homeboy the baton, if I'm being real with you. And I would be looking to try to just get out as fast as possible. Like, hey, you know, I'll buy you guys a drink, you know, this and that. You guys look like a cute couple. And she would obviously look at me like, what the fuck? Because I would argue she probably wouldn't correct me. She wouldn't correct me like, wait, no, we're supposed to be going on a date. What are you talking about? She wouldn't do that. She's going to sit there and play along like, oh yeah. And I'd buy the drink and I'd be like, peace. Cause I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to cock block homeboy though. I'm a guide him right on in, man. You know, be like, hey, do your thing, brother. And I'm out. I'm leaving. You know, because my thing is, I know a lot of people be like, oh, why wouldn't you just leave? Why wouldn't you do this? Why? Because I don't want to put that type of image out there of me. Like, I just, you know, stood this girl up and this and that. No. I showed up. I saw what happened, and I gave her that opportunity to correct me and to choose me over him, because this is an options game. Sorry to say it, but we're competing. It is what it is. Like, even though Michael's my best friend, if we were talking to a girl and say, you know, we're chopping it up, whatever the case may be, like, we're competing without really knowing we're competing. We don't have to be like, oh no, that's my girl. We don't have to be like that to know in our minds that we are competing. She's going to look at it like, who is the best guy? Ooh, you know, okay, he's taller, but he may be a little more funnier. Oh, but he has a little more interesting stories. Oh, but I like, you know, the way he kind of carries himself. Ooh, that's what she's constantly doing. We're not looking at it as a competition, because that's my best friend. I don't care if he gets the girl or not. That's the thing. But I see a lot of guys will do that. They will, even in a situation where it's their best friend, they will sit there and be like, oh, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Why are you being like that? Why are you trying so hard with the girl? Blah, 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 blah. Like, no, bro. If she chooses him, you let it go. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean, is you let the girl choose. And if she chooses your boy, then it is what it is. If she chooses this random guy, it is what it is. Like, that's why I look at it like, I'll buy the couple a drink, whatever. She doesn't correct me, which she won't. Then, hey, it is what it is. I'll buy that drink and I'll be out. I'm gone. Because I understand that there is competition between men, you know, and if I am not the better competitor because I was shorter or because I was skinnier or because I wasn't as funny or whatever the metric may be, it is what it is. I take the L. You know, you can't be that guy. I say it all the time, and it's gonna ring true every single fucking video. You gotta be that guy, that same guy, whether she's in your life or not, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I gotta say it at this point, but it's factual.
And to the point that he was making a little bit earlier, that is in the mate copying, not statistic, but study, where women, they did the study where women that saw single taken men were more attracted, and they said that they had, when they did the study with men, i.e. they showed a girl that was taken, whatever, it either made no difference or it made her less attractive to the man because he was like, oh, she's already taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The idea is there is no mate copying with dudes, right? Women, like he said, look at it from their perspective, and they don't get the idea of like, oh yeah, like I'm so fought after, so I must be of value, because they see it that way for men, but we don't see it that way. You know what I mean? And it kind of, like you said, you know, we understand that no matter where you go in life, whether you're married, single, whatever, women are constantly weighing the options of who's in front of them.
Yeah.
And so even in friend groups, you know, they always want to feel like they have the best they're in the best opportunity that they can be. So like with what we talk about before with like being like, men and women just should not be friends, you know what I mean? Because there's that idea that like she's just stringing you along to get the extra like one or two benefits that you offer to her, and she gets the rest from her boyfriend. You know what I mean? So you're kind of just in a way having that constant, in her mind, she's getting that constant reminder. And I would encourage you men to understand that, like, from your perspective, you should understand that every time you walk in front of that woman, she's evaluating you to being lesser than her man. You know what I mean? So that shouldn't be something that you're just sticking around and accepting in your life. You know what I mean? You have plenty other stuff to go deal with and figure out. And so that's really just where men as like a whole kind of just need to take and shift their mindset into this, like you were saying, just being that guy even with or without her in your life, you know, because in her mind, you're always going to be lesser. So
yeah. All right. I found these videos and I thought they were like pretty interesting because I truly think the idea of cheating is very nebulous to everybody, because it's like one thing that is considered cheating to one person is not considered cheating to another person. And I always found it so weird. And, you know, this is obviously something, you know, we haven't really talked about. So what they're going to do is they're going to ask, you know, a series of questions. You know, they're going to be like, is this cheating? And then they're going to ask a question. We'll go through the whole thing, and then I want to see what your kind of like idea is. You can answer the questions if you want and stuff like that. And I'll answer them too. But there's two of them because they do it from guy to girl and then girl to guy.
Let the record show I have no idea what nebulous means. So
nebulous just is it just means like it is random or just out there. Like
okay.
Like they'll take a term and instead of using like its actual dictionary term for it. So, you know, obviously cheating is like, you obviously understand cheating. It is the act of you doing something romantic or sexual with another person outside of your relationship. But a lot of people look at it in a more of just like random out there kind of way of like, oh, but if I'm just talking to him at like 3 a.m., that's not really cheating. Oh, you know, I just bought her this thing. It's not really cheating. Oh, I just really, you know what I mean? Like they use kind of like little out there tiny situations to kind of like push the bar of cheating.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they're going to ask a bunch of questions, so on and so forth. We'll do the first one, and then we'll do the second one.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Is it cheating if I let my coworker borrow my hoodie because she's cold?
Yes. She
But
doesn't
she's
need
cold.
She doesn't need your clothes. Ew.
Is it cheating if I'm out with friends and some guys steal one of their girls' purses, so I chase after him and I get it back for her?
Yes. You don't need to help a girl. Ew.
Is it cheating if there's a girl on my best friends list?
Yeah. Oh, you don't even need Snapchat. Bye.
What if it's one of your friends?
Even worse.
Is it cheating if I let a girl buy me a drink?
Yeah. You don't need to get a drink from a girl.
Is it cheating? Is it cheating?
Okay. So, for you, did you want me to go through each one, or did you want to just talk about it in general?
Yeah, we got to go through each one because it's.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you, asking it, obviously this is for you yourself. So let's say this is you and your wife. So for you, is it cheating if you let a female coworker, borrow a hoodie because she's cold? Do you think that is cheating?
Yeah. Yes. Because why are you not prepared?
Okay.
And why are you putting that on me?
Okay.
If I let my coworker buy my
She does.
Okay.
out with friends and some guy.
All right. Then our next one. Is it cheating if you are out with a friend and some guy steals that female coworker's purse and you chase after them? Is that cheating to you?
No, that one is just a man that believes in justice and is acting upon said feeling, said congruency. So no.
Okay. Okay. All right. And then we'll get to the next one. Okay. So, is it cheating if there's a girl on your best friends list? Let's say like Instagram or Snapchat or social media app in general. Not necessarily in your phone, but just
Yeah, like on one of the social media
Yeah, yeah.
platforms.
Would you consider that cheating?
Yeah, I mean, we're two men that don't really believe in the whole like men and women being friends kind of thing. So I would say it's probably more than likely a sign that he's trying to be that back pocket. Like, if my girl fucks up or if this girl smartens up and says she wants a relationship, I can leave this one and go with her or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's I gotta say that's probably cheating.
Okay. All right. And then we'll get to the last one. All right. So, in your opinion, do you think it is cheating if you let a girl buy you a drink?
This one, I will say, is actually arbitrary because it depends on her intentions with that like buying you a drink. You know what I mean? If she's out like, it's my birthday, I want to spend my money, whatever, let me just buy like a stranger a drink, that's, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I can get drunk, but if she's like, I'm taking you home, get this man a drink, whatever, or I'm like interested in talking to you, get this man a drink, it's cheating.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Going back, let's see, to the hoodie one. I know you said that you do think that was cheating. I don't. I personally think that it's just like, that's just someone I know in need. I have no problem just helping them out with a jacket. I really don't see anything romantic coming out of that, especially because it's a coworker. It's not like this is my female best friend or anything like that. So I don't think it's cheating. That's just personally my opinion. When it comes to, is it cheating if I'm out with my friends and a guy steals one of the steals one of the purse and I go and chase after him? No, because I would do that for pretty much anybody. Like,
right.
Yeah, I just think that is not only a chivalrous thing to do, but I think that's also just a manly thing to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you're just letting that guy walk off, like, that's kind of crazy. Like, even if I was walking on the side of the street and there's an old lady on the other side of the street and she gets her purse jacked, like, yeah, I'm running after the guy. You know what I mean? I think if you don't do that, that's crazy. And then, is it cheating if there's a girl on my best friends list? Yeah, I personally do. Like, my thing is there's no reason for a guy to be having female friends as well as a girl to be having male friends. I just don't believe it. Like, if you're a guy and you have guy friends, great, because why? You're going to have a circle of men. Hopefully you would have a circle of men that are going to challenge you and push you to be better than you already are every single day. Why? Because you guys are constantly competing with each other. You guys are constantly, oh shit, I made, this much this month. Oh, I made this much this month. And then you come from the sales background, so you know that more than anybody. you guys are always comparing numbers and competing with each other, and it's just the way it is. For women, though, it's like, as long as she has friends that I would say are within the same mindset as her when it comes to wanting to have a family and wanting to be better for, like, that said family, wanting to grow. She doesn't have these like single friends and these single ratchet friends and this shit. Like, as long as she doesn't have friends like that, we're chilling. I think it's great. I think it's healthy. Why? Because she's going out with people that she can talk to. Oh yeah, my husband does this. Oh my God, my husband does this. You know what I mean? You guys have that same mindset of like, we're all about family. Like, a lot of the people that your wife hangs out with, a lot of them have kids. A lot of them are married. A lot of them are in that situation where they're very family oriented. Like, those are the type of women that you want your wife around. You don't want them around these single bitches over here. Oh girl, he doesn't do this and this and that. Nah, man, we don't want all that shit. We don't want that. So yeah, I do think that's cheating, because you got no business having a female friend, bro. You just have no fucking business. And then, is it cheating if I let a girl buy me a drink? Honestly, bro, game is game. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't think it's cheating. If she wants to buy me a drink and I let her, cool. I know in my mind, I ain't going home with this bitch. I don't really give a shit, you know? But again, you have to be in a right mindset. Why this could be cheating is because men are very, very weak. What I've noticed is a lot of dudes are slaves to the pussy.
Yeah.
Okay? A lot of dudes are slaves to the pussy. It's one of those things where they will do anything and everything to keep a random bitch in their life. Yeah. And I've seen this, and it kills me, man. I have a friend where he literally, this girl that he's friends with, he wants to sleep with this girl so bad, and he's married. He wants to sleep with this girl so bad that he keeps being friends with this girl that stabbed him in the back multiple times. I used to be friends with this girl. Well, not really friends, but I used to just talk to this girl. And, you know, her and I only talked because of the proximity of work. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah. We talked because of the proximity of work. I wasn't really her friend like that. We never hung out outside of work, nothing like that. But it was one of those things where even just having that, like, situation of we are, I don't want to say accomplices. What is it? Like acquaintances. There you go. That even, you know, though we had the relationship of being acquaintances and stuff, she would still do shisty and snaky shit behind my back and stabbing me in the back. And I was like, oh, fuck no, bitch. I'm never talking to you ever again. But for some reason, she does that shisty and snake shit to him all the time. And he's still just, oh, I want to be your friend. Oh, so in a situation for him, if a girl bought him a drink, he'd be like, oh my God, yeah, whatever you want, you know what I mean? So that's why it's like, I do understand that if you were talking to an audience like we are, then that, yes, I would consider it cheating. But for my personal self, nah, I wouldn't. Why? Because I would look at it like, cool, bitch, thanks, you know, and game is game. I'm not doing anything with you. Like, you think something's gonna come out of this, but it's not, you know. So that's why I kind of like had to come at it at that angle, because I understand that there are dudes who are just simps. Let's be real, bro. Yeah. They're simps. Like,
and that's why I feel like this last one is very much a nuance or a very particular kind of thing, because there's so many different scenarios that can play into it. So it's like it's not really one size fits all for that last one.
Yeah, 100%. All right. I won't play the video. I'll just, you know, show the questions. So, okay. Rick 4, is it cheating if you have a dating app while you're in a relationship? Now, this is for your girl.
Right.
So, is it cheating for her to have a dating app on your phone while in a relationship?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that one's extremely self-explanatory.
That's a no-brainer, dude.
Yeah, that one's extremely self-explanatory. It's kind of crazy, though, the amount of times guys will catch their girl having dating apps on their phones. Like, man, do guys do it too? Yes, they do.
Still cheating. Yeah.
They do. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's cheating no matter what, but man, it's crazy. I think dating apps are a fucking plague, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so for you, is it cheating if your girl sleeps in the same bed as the opposite sex person, but they're not even touching each other? So they're on opposite sides of the bed, but they're sleeping in the same bed.
So I would say in general, yes. There's probably a couple nuanced fucking scenarios there where it's not, right? Like, let's just say in the event, because there's probably going to be people in the comments, whatever, like say in the event, fucking, like, yeah, it's just more of like it would have to be very particular is what I'm getting at, right? Like,
Yeah,
say
yeah.
in the event that she fell asleep somewhere and then another dude slept next to her without her knowledge, I can't be like, yeah, you cheated, stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So
yeah.
that's what I'm getting at. Like, there's very nuances where I would say no, but more times than not, yeah, if you consciously did it, there's not really a point, right? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yes, cheating.
Yeah, because I would consider it cheating.
Yeah.
Even, like, I understand you kind of gave it the whole, like, she doesn't know. But my thing is I wouldn't know if that's how it went down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would hope that that's how it went down. She was already sleeping there, and then dude just decided to get in the bed, you know? I would hope it, but I can't know for sure. Now, if she told me that, I would take my girl's word for it. But if I heard it from somebody else and they were just like, oh no, bro, your girl was already sleeping there and then, you know, he got in there, I'd be like, I don't know, bro. You know what I mean? I'd have to hear it from her just because it's like, yeah.
Like I said, it'd have to be so specific in order for it to be a no.
Yeah.
Because you don't end up in that kind of situation without making bad choices prior to that. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm like, it would have to be very specific for it to be no, but
Yeah.
more than likely yes.
Yeah, because I mean, also it's like, say, okay, let's have the this is the story, this is the timeline, is that, you know, for whatever reason your girl was at a party, you know, let's say she went with like her cousins or her sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
She went to a party and, you know, they're talking, having a good time. She's not drinking, she's not doing any of that. She is of conscious mind, everything is fine. She had water the whole night. She's the DD, her sister's drinking and, you know, being stupid, whatever. She looks at it like, damn, I'm fucking sleepy, my sister doesn't want to leave yet, I'm gonna try to find a spot to catch some Z's, you know.
Right.
And she happens to get stopped by somebody at the party. It's a guy stopped by a guy, and they happen to start chit chatting, whatever the case may be. And they were only chit chatting just because of the fact that he knows her sister or whoever it is that she went with, and she's like, oh, you know, she feels comfortable to talk to him. They're chopping it up, having a good time, having a conversation, blah blah blah. They end their conversation. She goes to sleep in the bed by herself. And then later in the night, this guy, because they had a conversation and the conversation went so well, he felt comfortable to sleep in the bed, not touching her, but just sleeping in the bed. Would, in that timeline or in that factual pattern, would you think that that is cheating on your girl's part?
No.
Okay.
Because she, especially thinking from like personal experience, right?
Yeah.
Like if for somehow like my wife ended up in that scenario, which she more than likely would not, you know.
Yeah.
Because
we know.
she would just it would be actually 100% her thing where if she was tired, she was like, I'm leaving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the idea is if that were to happen, whatever, like for her, I know in her mind, she would be nowhere near the thought process of like, yeah, I might sleep with this dude. So like if he ended up in the bed next to me as I went over there, that'd be fine. So
Yeah.
for me, that would be a no, especially because that just would, in my mind, I would understand that dude, I mean, granted, if this could be proven, right? But if that dude was like connecting fucking astronomical dots in his brain where he's like, yeah, I asked her about the punch bowl and that was a sign to fucking, you know, punch her box or something like that. I don't know, right? Like some stupid shit like that, you know?
Because guys justify stupid shit like that all the time.
All the time.
We had a great conversation. Doesn't that mean you want to touch my penis? You know, it's like, bro, come on, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of gave the situation in the context that I did, because that's probably the most realistic situation you would find somebody in that. But I don't know. All right. Yeah, that one's a tough one. That one is a tough one. But I mean, like you said, most of the time it's gonna be cheating. You know, very rarely is it not.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it cheating if she has a work wife or a work husband?
Super simple. Yes, they're probably tickling each other at work.
Yeah, and we've done scenarios where this has happened before. Yeah, dude. Yep. If your girl's got a work husband, bro, they've kissed, they've done something. He's touched her butt, whatever it is, bro.
He's tickling her at work.
Yeah, she's on the way out, bro. She broke up with you last month.
Yeah.
All right, let's be real. She broke up with you last month, bro.
Yep.
All right. Let's see here. Okay. Is it cheating if I hug a guy and he smells really good and he leaves a scent on me during the day and she smells like the guy the whole day pretty much? Is that cheating?
No, it says, and I keep smelling this scent.
Yeah, as far as just like she's like taking her shirt and going like that.
Yeah, why you like the smell of the other guy? You lose.
Yeah, that to
cheating.
me I think
Yeah.
is mad cheating.
Yeah.
Because okay, look, the thing about hugs is if you are a girl in a relationship, the only type of hugs you should be given is that one arm side hug. There is no other hug. You should not be given full arm around hugs to nobody unless it's like somebody that I trust or that I've known or that, you know what I mean? We know that won't do that type shit.
Yeah.
Other than that, bro, you are giving side hugs to motherfuckers. I don't know what's going on here. Like the only people I can think of, like two guys, literally two guys that I would ever let my girl give like a full hug to, and he's one of them. You know what I mean? Like that is really it.
Now that you're like mentioning it too, because in the question it's worded weird, where she's like, if I hug a guy and he smells really good, what are you doing?
She's sniffing that nigga, bro.
Yeah, she like, he smelled really good. Like, all right, yeah, you're just wording the question as a fucking cheater,
yeah,
bro.
like you're hugging that man, like, oh,
yeah, that one is super cheating.
Yeah,
and
bro.
I guarantee you, she probably did that shit to this man.
Oh, 100%. Look at her face, like. You know she's done it before.
She has definitely done that before. Fuck.
Oh, man. All right. We should have, I believe, one more. Let me see. Okay. No, there isn't. That was the last one. All right. But, yeah. That has been that. You know what I mean? That was, is it cheating?
Yes, it was cheating.
Yeah. Pretty much all of those were cheating, in my opinion. I ain't going to lie to you. But that's what I'm saying is, like, you don't have to like kiss the person or, you know, even just be inviting. Like there's small things, like I said, that can constitute as cheating. I feel like a lot of people think that cheating is like, nah, I have to be, you know, hard-eyesing you in the DMs or I got to be in your... Nah, bro, it's very simple things that can happen between a man and woman that is constituted as cheating. I'm not going to ever... I'm going to die on that hill, bro. You know, I'm never going to concede on that because it just is. And that's why I say a lot of people have this, like, out there term for cheating where they're just like, no, it has to be this. Oh, because what a lot of girls will say, oh no, I didn't sleep with him. Oh, I didn't kiss him. Oh, I didn't do this. It's like, bro, the fact that you're making yourself available to this guy is cheating. You know what I mean? Like, hands down, that is cheating, bro. All right. That's going to be the videos for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the videos. Definitely let us know what you thought about them down in the comments. We love to hear you guys' feedback and all that good stuff about the videos. We're going to get into the thread really quick. I'm going to hop through announcements super duper fast. So, patreon.com/MyLassoPodcast, get an exclusive episode every single month, as well as being able to send in your scenario to be featured on the Tuesday and Sunday show, like these lovely people did for today. Audio listeners, thank you guys for all the support. Appreciate you guys so very much. If you guys want to help out even more, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, as well as subscribing on YouTube. Follow our guy over here at MikeLife333. And yeah, man, we appreciate you guys very, very much for all the support.
Yep. As always, much appreciated for you guys tuning in, leaving comments, messaging me, stuff like that. I do have a new opportunity that just came into play, and I'm super thankful for that. So if you guys want more information on that, feel free to shoot me some more DMs. I have a lot more information that I can be handing out to you guys as I start growing my channel, my success, stuff like that. So the idea is just getting as many people in on this as I can that are qualified, right? I've had to deal with that where people think it's like free money or something. And I'm like, all right, it's not that. By no means is it that. You have to qualify. So, but the idea is, you know, I do appreciate the inquiries. I will be handing out as much information as I can. I do only have a couple spots left for this upcoming quarter. So if you want to know more information, go ahead, message me. We'll see if we can get you in. So
yeah, and his links are down in the description. So hit him up on TikTok or hit him up on Instagram, whichever one it is, and get tapped in. All right. So this thread, I already told him before the show, but this thread was actually recommended by one of our viewers. He had asked me. He had recently saw an episode of ours, and we had helped a guy out in the military. I kind of sort of remember his scenario just a little bit. He was dealing with like coming out of the military and feeling like, you know, he feels useless. You know what I mean? And he was struggling with that, and he wanted help. And Michael was able to kind of give him guidance and help him out a little bit. And so, you know, there was a guy who came out of the military and was just like, dude, you know, I saw that episode. I'd love for you guys to like talk a little more about that. And so I was like, yeah, dude, we could totally do that. So shout out to that guy. So I decided to ask the community and people in our community that are veterans or in the military or whatever it may be, whether you're in or out. I went ahead and was like, I posed this question to you guys. And so, you know, we're going to extend that question to Michael first. He's going to like answer the question, and then we'll get you guys' and he'll react to, you know, you guys' situation. Obviously I'm left out in this. So, you know, this is the Rig 4 show at this point. So pretty much for you. Oh shit. Pretty much for you, Michael. What is the worst thing about being in the military?
And the people in the Marine Corps will get this. There's a long, illustrious list of things that are terrible about being in the Marine Corps or in the military in general, right? I can't really speak on the other branches because it just kind of seems like they can just do whatever they want, you know? I've seen whales in other branches. I've seen weird things in other branches. So,
okay.
But I know for myself, right? And I'm trying to narrow it down because there's so many I could go over, but a lot of it has to do with the idea that a lot of people in higher up positions that claim to be leaders are not leaders. They're just people that got bullied in high school or at some point in their life, and they really just take those hurt feelings and use that as like fuel for what they do to their Marines, right? And I say that as a person that has been in that position, right? You know, I at one point was the person that was running around like reminding people of my rank and trying to correct everyone on everything and trying to be a big Billy badass. So by no means was I saying that I was perfect before or even perfect now, but the idea is I had a lot of growth, right? And so the things of that like come to mind is like you would just fucking have people like pissed at you for anything. Like I remember I was walking down the street and you know, I had said good morning to this officer. I was like, hey, good morning, sir. Like, how you doing? He was like, good. Like, how are you doing? I was like, I'm doing good. And he was like, no, you're doing well. I was like, what? He was like, no, you're doing well. It's the answer is not good. You're doing well. It's bad grammar. And I was like,
hey, yo, what the fuck?
Now I'm not. I'm not doing either.
I know that was what you thought in your head. Like, hey, yo, what the fuck?
I couldn't respond that way. I'm just, hey.
100%.
I was
Yeah.
like, hey, good to go, sir. I'm doing well. And he was like, yeah, thank you. And I was like, what the fuck? That's what you think of people that walk around you. You're like, oh, this ignorant fool saying good instead of well. Another instance. And that I think that was like the hardest thing for me to get over, right?
Okay.
I think that's like number one on the list is the dynamic of not being able to speak freely as if you're some slave, right?
Yeah.
Because there was a time where I had just got done being at the gym. I stopped by the store to get a water bottle. I got stopped by an officer. He was like, did you just get done PTing? And I was like, very clearly, yes, sir. And he was like, well, I know the new MAR admin came out about you can wear PT gear in the PX, but no one wants to smell your sweaty ass when they're out in the store, so you need a shower and change before you come back here. And I was like, again, good to go, sir. I'll do that next time. But at the end of the day, it's like why is that? Like, I understand enforcing standards. There's a difference between doing that and just being a complete dick about things. You know what I mean? Because it's like, cool, I get it. If I had smelled, yeah, sure, 100%. But this man saw me, went out of his way to approach me because I was sweating and was like, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, look, I get it. If I was like standing behind you, like, damn, this dude stinks. God damn it. You know what I mean? But then, like, that's the thing. Rank really gives people that false sense of security where at the front door, this man's talking to me about this stuff where he's like, you smell like shit, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, sir, do you know that, like, you could be pressing the wrong person and just get fucked up? Like, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, do you really think that those bars on your collar are really going to save you from an ass beating?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, obviously, I wasn't that guy because I had bigger dreams in my mind about where I wanted my career to go. So, of course, I'm like, this guy doesn't matter because I never saw him again and it didn't matter, right? But the idea is still there. Like, there's other people that, like, have it a lot worse and have different mindsets, right? Where it's not uncommon for, especially grunts, right? Those motherfuckers eat bricks for breakfast, so you piss one off at the wrong time, you're probably gonna get punched, no matter who you are, because no one wants to fucking go out in country, sleep in a hole for a fucking month, not shower, come back, and some shiny that goes to work at fucking 9 or 10 a.m. with a hot cup of coffee and then goes to the store at 12, never shows up to work, and is like, wait, that guy's dirty? Let me go yell at him in front of everyone. You know, like, that guy's not going to take it. And I'm like, dude, I just got back from the deployment. Shut the fuck up. Get away from me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's like something that, like, I personally saw and, like, hated a lot. But I could go over uniform inspections in the middle of June, July, in the hottest uniform you have, carrying your fucking rifle, standing out in formation for 2-3 hours because some sergeant major wants you to fucking look spiffy in your uniform, or having to fucking stay up for 96 hours trying to complete a mission that doesn't matter because you're in the field and some officer wants to look good and have the numbers align right so he can look better on his fit rep, and you don't get jack shit, right? You busting your butt fucking trying to make sure the mission's completed and you don't get awarded for your hard work, right? Random uniform gear inspections that you have to drag all your shit out, and you end up getting your shit lost because those random inspections, and then you don't get compensated, and you got to pay 3 times the actual price for that piece of gear because some officer wanted you to fucking get inspected.
Damn.
You know, staying up till 2 a.m. as you get your room inspected because it has to be up to some NCO's standard of clean just to not have your room inspected the next day by your higher ups, like first sergeant, whoever the fuck's coming through, right?
Yeah.
The idea, like, the list could go on and on and on and on and on and on, right? And that's why I say the military will make you a great person if you allow it, and depending on how you see yourself. But at the same time, I wouldn't really recommend it for the average Joe. It's really not even fucking necessary. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the Marine Corps will do things the harder way just to say we did it hard, right? And the other branches actually laugh at us now because we train so fucking hard or in such stupid conditions just to say we did it when it's not even really necessary anymore. Like the Marines of, like, Montford Point, Iwo Jima, Guadalcanal, Beirut, all those Marines had it fucking hard, so they had to train hard, right? Nowadays, there are Marines that have it hard and they need to train hard, but not every Marine needs to be up to that standard because most of them are some fucking 19, 20, 22-year-old kids that don't have their fucking license and don't know how to adult. You know what I mean? What they should be focused on is cultivating actual adults and decent members of society, and putting that into their character versus this bullshit about, like, let's get all of our gear and hike up 50 different mountains just to say we can fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So The list could go on and on and on and on and on and on. But not to drag this shit out. But yeah, that's like my number one is. A buddy of mine said it. He's like, dude, you either become a slave in the Marine Corps or you go out into the civilian world and be a slave to someone else. So pick your slavery. And my idea was, fuck no, I'm not doing either one of that. I'm gonna be my own boss. So
yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna see some of the communities. You know what I mean? What their worst one was. All right. So let's see. Hold on here. Okay. We have our first one. Veteran now. Worst part was when I was injured, non-combat, and literally every single medical personnel told me to suck it up and keep going. No one believed me when I said I knew something was seriously wrong, but I was a female and it was expected of me to push through the pain and keep up with the guys. 2 weeks later, when I was still limping and not getting better, it was discovered that my hip was broken, which set off a horrific chain reaction in my body that led to me being permanently disabled. Fucking sucks to be right.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? Because I've seen both sides of the coin. You have a fucking pretty, or not even pretty sometimes, subordinate, and she's like, my stomach hurts today, sergeant, staff sergeant, whoever the fuck, can I not PT you today? And then they're like, yeah, just say you went to medical, whatever, right? And then you fucking go to medical and they can't find anything wrong. You come back and then, you're just like, why the fuck is she never at PT? And then they're like, in this case though, that's another thing where when I got into that scenario, I was very conscious of which Marines were telling the truth, because I made it to a point where I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck if you're trying to do some shady shit or not. Just be honest with me, and then depending on how much I feel it's important, like I'll back you up on it, and then we can get it like worked out, right? Where there were Marines like in that one, or like service members in like that female, where they can tell like, yo, something's actually fucking wrong. I need to go get this checked out, right? And you like I said, I became very keen to understanding when people were being honest, what made people tick, and what drove a person to be better or not. And so that falls on leadership and the stigma around in the Marine Corps or in general getting injured and getting it taken care of. Because I mean, I have a lot of injuries that went undocumented, because you go to medical and they're like, oh my fucking God, dude, you're here making me do my job. And I'm like, yes, I got in a car accident. My back is fucked up, you fucking asshole. And they're like, okay, does it hurt when I do this? Yada, yada. And then but this is from the very jump, right? In boot camp, they warn you about hip-related injuries because, like she said, you can become permanently damaged, disabled very, very, very quickly and very easily if you're not careful. And this is what happens. People are not careful, and I guarantee it only took like maybe 3 weeks for this to progress that bad.
Oh, wow. Because
constantly in the Marine Corps or in the military, you're using stuff that focuses direct pressure on your hips, and especially women too. I don't know what it is about their biology, but their hips are very prone to injury. So they did studies on it through the specific training that the military does. They are more likely to have hip or back related injuries because of their female anatomy. So it's really fucked up that she had this scenario happen to her, because now she's permanently disabled. Yeah. No one gave a fuck. Now she's affected for the rest of her life.
Oh, wow.
So.
All right. Okay, we'll get on to our next one. What is the worst thing about being in the military? Worst part would be the supervisor role is passed on inherently by reaching E5 promotion, despite most of them not having good supervisory skills. It's a natural process to just move up, and I get that, but honestly, being allowed to supervise people should be separated somehow to a different division of said rank or until a higher rank. It's a huge cause of why people leave the military early, not the work or the lifestyle. It's literally how people are managed that makes most people who don't retire decide to get out. especially personnel who have the skill to be successful with what they've learned outside the military, they would retain more of their more useful skills, more useful and skillful people if they made a change to how management roles are given in the military. There are great supervisors for sure, but it seems the majority are not. And the 2-month course before or right after acquiring E5 to teach management skills do not seem to be enough of a judgment call on who is ready of the responsibility of leading and molding upcoming airmen, seamen, etc.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like I said,
I think he kind of agrees with you.
Yeah,
where he's just like how you were talking about. I hate how these guys would just say shit. For just the fuck of it. Like, oh, that guy over there is dirty. I'm just going to go out of my way and just be like, I think that's kind of what, I think he agrees with you.
And so there's a lot that goes into it again.
Yeah.
I've seen pretty much all of it, like all of everything you can think of under the sun. But
Okay.
the idea is, there are people that you say slip through the cracks, and then no one does the due diligence of like, dude, get that guy the fuck out of a supervisor position, right? Because it's just a lot more hassle. And then as a whole, that's the thing, right? The problem of the military is once you get to a certain rank of like staff and above, you got to play these goddamn song and dance games of your numbers really affecting you. And so it looks bad on everyone up the chain of command if they have leaders that are not ready for being that leader and they get moved down or they get like punished or something like that. So a lot of the time what happens is stuff gets swept under the rug, or if it's not too dangerous where someone else can kind of just puppet that person or take over and put baby in the corner, that will happen more times than actually trying to fix the root problem. And so that's, I think, what this person's talking about is, especially in the field I was in, the IT field, where I would try my best to learn as much as I can, but like you kind of have to be like there from day one to really fully understand how things work at a particular unit. And so from there, you can kind of be stunted on your ability to help in the holistic mission if you don't know enough about each specific scenario, right? And case in point is at my very last duty station, I had a peer who was a sergeant in E5, right? I had years of experience. I had done a lot of growth, and I had like bashed my head against the wall trying to be a better leader, whereas that motherfucker had bashed his head against the wall too many times where it made him dumb. And so the point was like, he was a sergeant, but I was the sergeant for him, if that made sense. You know what I mean? Like, I had to, when people would, like, he had to do stuff, he would come to me and be like, what do I do?
It's like he had the position, but you were doing all the work.
Yeah. He'd be like, what do I do? And I'm like, dude, this, and this. If anyone gives you pushback, just say Sergeant Hop did it, told him to do it, right? And then so he would go out, do stuff, get gaffed off, and then I'd have to come through and be like, dude, what did I said that? And they'd be like, I didn't realize you said that. Never mind, right?
Oh, okay.
Had a little bit more respect for me because when it came from him, one, his articulation was off. Two, they didn't really know what he had behind his words because they understood he was a little incompetent. So it was harder to follow his direction.
Yeah.
But again, I could come up with a lot of examples, stuff like that. But the idea is people kind of just get put in leadership and they just kind of get left to be there because it's a lot harder and a lot more of a headache to take them out than to fucking let them kind of grow or sit baby in the corner. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Let's get on to the next one then. What is the worst part about being in the military? The politics. It's the main reason why I got out. Too many people too interested in appearances and getting more power for themselves. Too much busy work because it's bad to appear idle. Too much spending money just to spend money because if you don't spend money, you get less later. What does that mean?
So
If you're not spending money, that means you get less later. What does that mean?
That person works in a logistical job, right? And that's the fucking problem. We would always have to do that. I didn't work in a logistics wing. I worked in IT, but I would see them scrambling because that was the annoying part about Marine Corps budgets or DOD budgets is if you don't spend every last dollar, they cut it down by the amount that you don't spend. So in the event like, hey, everything's working right now, right? And that's the thing. You get one budget for new equipment and maintenance, right? So if everything's working right now, Marines love to fuck shit up, which is why we can't have nice things, right? The audience knew. The other Marines out there knew. They knew what I was going with that. We can't have nice things because motherfuckers will break shit, fuck it up, and then you're just, we don't got the budget to fucking fix it. So we're just going to have to work with that for years now.
Oh, wow.
And so the idea is, like he was saying, if you don't spend every dime, right, because everything's in working order, the DOD is like, oh, they must not need all that money. Cut it down. And then motherfuckers are like, well, and I don't know why there's not an appeal process. You can't go back and be like, hey, we need our budget extended because such and such happened. Now we need new equipment, an upgrade, or maintenance. They're like, no, dude, you didn't use it that 1 year, so we allocated that to another branch that used it, and now we have no room to fucking give you any money back. So sorry. And then you're like, what the fuck do we do now? Our force is lackluster. We don't got the funds or the power. What is it called? Someone out there knows the word, but like the capabilities anymore to execute on our mission because we're stunted by the bullshit dog and pony show we had to put on and spend every dime, and we didn't get to do it, so now we're fucked, you know? And that's what I was talking about of like the politics just ruined the fuck out of it because it's like, hey, we were so efficient, we got done early. Now we got to do some bullshit because we can't be done early. And it's like, well, wouldn't that reflect better on us that we're so good we got done efficiently? No, you got to do someone else's job because they're fucking up now and they don't know what they're doing, so now you got to dedicate extra hours to helping them. And it's like, well, that doesn't help them, we're just doing their work for them. Yeah, but it'll look good. Oh my fucking god. Do you know I have kids and a family to go home to? Yeah, you know what, that actually reminds me, I gotta get going, but keep me updated, Sergeant.
That's crazy.
And you're like
you get to go home and I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's like, you motherfucker. And then guess who's standing out in front of the formation getting an award for all the work that you did?
Damn.
That fucking shiny.
Yeah.
Or that fucking so and so that takes the credit for what you did.
Yeah.
And they always like, I couldn't have done it without you guys. We'll get you something special on the back end.
We'll get you some pizza.
yeah. Or a letter of appreciation is what our pizza is, right?
Okay.
You get that letter and they're like, man, this letter doesn't mean shit to me, stupid. If you are promised a letter of appreciation and you think that means something, that is a cop-out pizza party. And you guys, I don't know if it's the same in all branches, called that in all branches, but if you hear those words, understand it is the equivalent of a corporate pizza party, and it does not mean shit.
Damn.
You can have 150 of those, and just picture going to another job and like, yeah, we got 150 pizza parties for doing well at my last job. They're going to look at you like you're a fucking idiot.
Damn.
Is what it is.
Damn, bro, that's crazy. All right, dang, man. Woo. All right, this will be our last one for the thread. So what is the worst thing about being in the military? Waiting on everything. Waiting to get an appointment. Waiting to get paid travel pays. Waiting for the other person to show up to work so you can finally get something done. Waiting for supplies to show up. Waiting for a line for chow. Waiting for your orders to come so you can actually plan for your family's future. Waiting to deploy. Waiting to get home. Waiting to get an NIPR computer account so you can actually do your job. Waiting for meeting to be over. Waiting until you can get out or retire. The only thing worse than waiting is the frenzy of mostly meaningless activity that surrounds all the waiting. In short, hurry up and wait.
Yes, 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 and yes. This is another thing, right? And I'm going to let you guys know, if you're a fucking young Marine, a young Joe, a young seaman, whoever the fuck you are, if you are hurrying up to wait, that means you're waiting. Someone else is, Damn, you know what, dude? I think we should probably get out there. No, it's fine. And I'm not bullshitting you. I've been around the block so much where I've seen it. Where you get to see, like, I'll get pulled away, whatever. I'm like helping someone do like some of those urgent tasks that he was talking about, and you're like, dude, we got to get this done. And then you're like, dude, where the fuck is so and so? I think they're on leave. Okay, so like, who's doing his job? I don't know, actually. Hey, Gunny, who's supposed to take over for so and so while he's on leave? I gotta go PT, dude. I don't know. And you're like, what? And then everyone else is outside, fucking doing fuck shit. Yeah. Because you gotta hurry up and wait, dude. And so it's hilarious, right? All right, so there are some legit scenarios. When he said the NIPR computer, that was my job. I was the person that would allocate accounts, or I was a part of that team, stuff like that.
Explain to the viewers what an ICPR computer or account is.
So it can get kind of technical, but the idea is so like, obviously you're a computer person as well, right? Like, you know how you can buy a computer out the box, plug it in, and then you can access the internet just by having a connection, right?
Yeah.
So what we would do, we'd have to set that up manually, where we'd have to build the server farm out, allocate, like, hey, this is the name of a listed name of computers that can come online, right? And so we would have to manually, basically, right? If you think about it as far as like humans, right? It's as if I had to essentially go out, reproduce with all these females, name each kid individually, and be like, okay, here's the birth record for each kid that I fucking created, right?
Okay, so you're setting up each computer, and then you got to set up an account for each computer for each guy.
Yeah, and then so for each person, I'm like, okay, and then so you had to also build out a profile for each woman that you created with, or whatever, right? So each person that would come to work, right? If you think about it as far as a normal computer, that kind of stuff on an enterprise level is set up automatically with certain private numbers, right? So when you plug in and there's billions of these names out there, which is why it works so well. You can just plug in a new device, and then it'll send in a request like, hey, can I get a name? And they're like, here's your name, shut the fuck up, right? Whereas for us, we have to be like, okay, who are you? Do you have the credentials? Can I build your name out? Like, I need a bunch of stuff that's going to be tied to you, and only you, so that way all the security checks on the network can also authenticate that you're a real person that's supposed to be on this network. There's a lot of stuff there, right? So, again, what can happen is motherfuckers like, hey, build this guy a fucking profile. And you're like, sorry, I don't know how to do that. And then you're like, oh, okay, fucking asshole. Come with me. This is how you do it. And you're like, okay. And then you gotta wait on that. So that's different, right?
Yeah.
I can speak on that one because there's a bit of competency that plays into it, where it's like, all right, you kind of have to know what you're doing. Okay. And if you don't, that'll slow things way the fuck down. Yeah. Especially when you have to think about, on scale, how many people are in a unit, and we have to build that out by hand, and there's like probably a group of maybe 5 people that got to plan all that shit out. So that's a little bit different, where like that scenario, there is going to be some waiting with that, right?
Usually how many people roughly would be in a unit?
So for me, when I was dealing with that kind of stuff, there usually be like 500 people in a unit, right?
Damn.
So
I was thinking like 50, 60, maybe 100 people.
No. And
damn.
Yeah. So the good thing about it is, if they were people that had already been a part, like had been working with your unit before, they would come in batches, and you could build their profiles out before the field, right? We called it like, I forget what we called it, but you would build it out before the field, so that way when you showed up, it was a lot smoother.
Okay.
And then the stragglers would get in, and you could build those out. But in the event where it's like, hey, we got a whole new unit coming in, we got to get them access, you'd be like, oh my fucking God. Now we got to image computers, set up the workstation, set up a new partition in the network, like all this kind of stuff. Redo the IP scheme. It would be fucking crazy, right? And then so like people would show up like, yeah, I know you got this yesterday, but why isn't everything already set up? So I could see in every part of the job where that could play into things, right? Where for supply, right? You're like, all right, we need X amount of rifles. Oh, actually, we got another unit coming in. We need you to shit out some more rifles. Well, how the fuck am I going to do that? Because now I have to update like the tracking of those rifles, get those rifles, track each one of those serial numbers before I divvy them out, associated with each person. So like there are things that play into it, but then there's also, and I'm looking at S1, dude, the fucking admin fuckers, dude. They hated doing their job, bro. They had the simplest shit, but they, like he said, you'd be like, yo, when can I get my orders, or when are my orders going to be here? And they're like, shit, dude, who does orders? hey Gunny, who does orders for people going on deployment? What deployment? What deployment are you on? We're going here. Oh, yeah, the deployment going here. I think it's so and so. He's on leave. Can you do it? Well, I'm a PFC and I don't know what I'm doing. All right, just come back. We got a meeting in like a couple minutes, so you got to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow? Dude, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, the meeting's going to be 30 minutes, and that's really hard for us, dude. So we're not going to be working for the rest of the day after that.
So what would you do if it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you can't get your orders? What the fuck are you doing all day?
Fuckery. You go back, and they're like, oh, you're not leaving? Well, I guess you're just going to have to stay here and participate in the fuckery.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I got to figure out how to move my family to Japan.
So you're just sitting there with your dick in your hand like, yo, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you in, 24 hours pretty much.
And that,
wow.
Yeah, you fucking sitting there with your dick in your hand. You're like, I got to see this guy tomorrow. Meanwhile, it's like you're supposed to be there in a couple weeks, but you don't know if you're fucking going, how you're going to move your shit. Like you said, waiting to get paid for reimbursed for your travel expenses. You get your government travel charge card, and if you track that wrong, you owe the Marine Corps money, and they'll just yank it out of your account. And it doesn't matter what bills you have. They'll just take it from you. So it's like, dude, the amount of shit, like that hurry up and wait shit is number 2 on my fucking list there, dude.
Damn, man.
You'd show up and have to wait for so goddamn long for nothing, and then it's like, finally, this shit you would take one step, and then you gotta wait for something else, dude.
Yeah. Oh, man, dude, that's crazy. I love this kind of stuff because I'm bringing in an expert, somebody. Because, look, I'm reading a lot of this, and I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. But the fact that to extensive, excruciating detail, know what they're talking about, I think is great. I think that was great. I wish we had more time to cook on it. Yeah. Sadly, we don't. But we're going to try to get into at least 2 more scenarios because he's got to get out of here. So we're going to get into these scenarios for you guys. So our first one is, I am being accused of grape. Okay, not gonna lie, I'm sure if this is the right thing to put on this, I literally just got this like a week ago, but always, as the title says, okay, so apparently he found our show a week ago and he was not sure if this was appropriate to put on here. Okay. Don't worry, it's all good. We'll help you out, brother. Long story short, I was hanging out with a girl and it was just me and her. We were just drinking and smoking and watching movies. It's not like she's my best friend, but, close enough to hang out all day. Really good friends at school, eat lunch together a lot. I think she was trying to flirt with me and stuff, getting super close on the couch and kept looking at me and stuff like that. But I'm not interested, so I wasn't really playing along. But she just kept going, like getting really touchy, and I'm not into that, so I was just getting kind of mad. Not that I was yelling at her, but more of a, stay away kind of way. She got really mad at me, saying all this BS that I was leading her on, that I was just trying to embarrass her, etc. But no, I literally told her I was just seeing us as friends, and I'm not interested. This bitch got so fucking mad and just went home. Well, what do you know? Apparently she's telling people that I tried to grape her, and that's why she isn't hanging out with me anymore. All her friends are ignoring me. I guess I've seen people whisper and point at me, and now I'm telling my friends. Or hold on. And now my friends are also hearing about this and think that I'm a shitty guy. Small ass town and news gets around, but I guess like what the fuck. I understand gotta believe the victim, but she's not a fucking victim. What do I even do? Here's the plot twist. I like men and I have a boyfriend. That's crazy. I will never tell anyone at school that, but just goes to show that there's no way I was giving her any signs. I was definitely not into her. So am I the asshole, or am I wrong in this situation? That's crazy, bro.
Yeah. So
that is crazy.
Technically speaking, right? If there's any sort of legal action being taken, this is probably one of the dumbest things you could have done. You're not really supposed to speak on these kind of things on like social media, stuff like that, because it'll be used against you.
Yeah.
There is the blaring fact that you like men, but that has to be proven. Like I said, if there's legal action being taken against you, that's got to be proven in a court of law. So
this is so. I as far as we know, he didn't mention anything about her taking legal actions or this going to a court or anything like that. And I think that's why he was okay with sharing it.
Yeah.
So I let's go kind of from that lens of like, this is just more of, she's telling everybody around town that guy raped me. And it's more of a just peer to peer kind of level, you know.
So what I would say is, I can't give you any legal advice, but what I would say I've heard people do is I mean, you're by no means are you an asshole for telling someone like, hey, I don't really like want to do anything with you. Yeah, I mean that. Let's get that straight, right? Yeah. You're not an asshole for what you did unless you're lying. But I'm gonna assume you're not lying here because it wouldn't make any sense.
Like I think any straight guy probably wouldn't turn down a girl coming on to them. Like you'd have to be pretty gay to do that, I would think.
Well,
you know,
it depends, right? It just depends.
I would argue in most guys' positions they would have taken her offer and slept with her.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, it just depends because, like, obviously, if you hear around town she's like burning or some shit, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, dude, like active STD, yeah.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why I'm saying like it depends. But in a normal scenario where like, you know, they known each other for a while and they kind of have an idea for each other. Yeah, I could see that. But what I'm getting at is, what I've heard people do is, if it starts to cause you actual issues in your life, i.e., like you get kicked out of school, or
it affects your work,
or you're like getting harassed now, stuff like that. You could take her to court and be like, hey, like, you got to prove this legally or you owe me money type deal. Yeah, I mean?
Yeah, because that's honestly where I was going to go with it too. Like you kind of just took it right out of my head and just said it because that's all you can do, bro. Like trying to convince people and trying to do all this stuff, like have your boyfriend there with you when you talk to this lawyer. You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of go to a situation. You got to go to that extreme, sadly. I hate that you do, but it's one of those things where it's like, bro, you have to do that because there's a lot of girls that are doing that just off of the fact that either they want to get money out of the guy because he's rich, or they can't take an L, so they don't want to look like, you know, they don't want to look like, oh, you're the one that got denied and all that kind of stuff, because, you know, they look at it like, oh, that means, you know, you're ugly, or you're not as desired as you thought you were. You know what I mean? They wanted to flip it on you, and so it's just one of those things where we're just pretty much saying, like, this is a clear case, bro. Go get a lawyer. Talk to them, have your boyfriend present, because what that does is that proves to them that you are gay, you're homosexual, you're in a relationship, you're not faking this. You guys can prove that through you guys' relationships, through text messages, phone calls, anniversaries, whatever it may be. They're going to ask for all that type of stuff. You prove that you're in a homosexual relationship, that you know, like men.
Yep.
It is what it is. And that you only saw this girl as a friend. You can even show your text messages, because I guarantee you hers are going to be doctored like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So make sure you have your text messages. Show that you guys have only ever had really friendly interactions. You guys have only ever really had friendly conversations. Now, you are gay, so I understand sometimes with gay guys and women, you know, they'll have like flirty looking conversations.
Yes.
I do understand that, but context matters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you have that kind of context, that's why you establish the gay thing first, of like, I have a boyfriend, this is that, she knows I have a boyfriend, so on and so forth. Then the flirty texts kind of are like, all right, because that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna be like, oh, look, he was sending me hard eyes text, oh, he sent me a heart text, oh, you know, we did this, we did that, you know what I mean? So you got to establish the gay thing first, then kind of build off of that,
especially if there's no proof either that you've had like a girlfriend before either. Like,
exactly,
they can't say like, oh, this was like a staged gay like relationship.
Yeah,
like, no, like, I've never had a girlfriend. I also, like, man, we've been established for like a couple years now, whatever, right? And I understand it sounds like he may be young, because he was like, I don't want my school to find out, but at the end of the day, right, especially like small town stuff, I mean,
come out of the closet at this point.
I want to say be safe, because if it's real small town and they actively do not like gays and it may be dangerous, I could see that, right? I understand, but at the same time, you got to think for yourself. That in and of itself is a lot safer than being accused and having your life ruined and being too scared to stand up for yourself, right?
Yeah.
Because if you're too scared to stand up for yourself in this scenario, there's other things that can happen where you'll be too scared to stand up for yourself, and then it'll just keep happening, right? Something of this nature can just keep happening, where who knows if she starts blackmailing you for money, like he was saying, stuff like that. So you got to prove that you cannot be bullied and not stand up for you won't stand up for yourself, so that way this kind of stuff doesn't happen. I understand you're trying to protect yourself on like the homosexual side, but at the same time, it'll be worth it. Coming out of the closet is going to be a lot more worth it to protect you and your image, because I get it, dude, you know, like it's like, even though, you know, it's cool to be gay and it's okay to be gay and all that kind of stuff, I get it that there's those small towns that don't really like that still. You know, we do understand that. But in this kind of situation, like, if it wasn't dire to the point where you have to go to a lawyer, I would have been like, let's go about it a different way. You can stay in the closet, do what you got to do. But in this situation, I'm sorry, man, but you got to come out of the closet, prove that you are gay, because that it's going to come out regardless. And like when I said you have to kind of have that establishment of like proving that you're gay, you have a boyfriend, all that kind of stuff, that is pretty much me saying you have to come out of the closet to prove, hey, I'm gay. I didn't like her because of that reason. That was the only reason why I turned her down. Nothing to do with her. I think she's great. I think she's cute, great, and all that stuff, but I just don't like women, you know? So, all right. We're going to do one more, and then he's got to get on out of here. So, we're going to do our last one. Wife cheated, and I want to spy on her moving forward. Is this a good idea? No.
Ooh, yeah, bro. All right, we'll read the story, but I think we're kind of universal on this. I think if you got to go to the level of spying on her, bro, odds are she's doing what you think she's doing. So I caught my wife about So I caught my wife about her cheating on me with her ex. We dated 4 years and married after that, 5 years now, going on 6. But woman's not moved from her relationship with her ex. Okay, she's not moved on, I think is what he's trying to say. So I caught her when I got the chance to use her phone and found their messages. I confronted her. She said sorry. I forgave her with conditions that she should break relationship and stop contact with the guy, and transparency/honesty, of course. And was hoping that was it. But upon doing some investigations, her email has mine as a recovery. Found some inconsistencies from her first story, proving her lies. So she is unaware about recently deleted messages in iPhone messaging, in which I had found that she's still continually messaging the ex. So I laid the evidence out and the messages that proved her lies. Again, she broke down and promised again and said that she can't live without me. Honestly, I don't believe her anymore, but I am also somewhat an idiot and weak. I know I know, judge me how you want, but I want to have this one last chance to see if she can change and we can move truly forward. Nigga. Bro, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing, my guy? Like if she cheated on you once, you took her back, you set boundaries, and she crossed them again, what makes you think that, like, all right, I'm not even going to read the rest of your shit, bro. Look, man, you need to really look at yourself in the mirror and think, like, what am I doing? Why am I chopping myself at the knees for somebody who does not respect me? That's what it comes down, bro. She doesn't respect you. She doesn't care about your feelings. She doesn't care about how you think about these things. She doesn't care about your marriage, your relationship, none of that, bro. She don't give a fuck. She talks to that dude and she's just literally like, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck about him. Like, you know, he's got a small dick anyway. He can't do nothing for me. Like, you're the guy I really want to be with. I love you. And every time I'm kissing him, I'm pretending I'm kissing you. Every time I'm laying next to him in bed, I'm thinking about laying with you. Like, bro, she does not care. She does not care.
The idea is, I think you're kind of looking at it wrong, Rig 4. What you're saying is true, but you don't respect you.
Oh, 1,000.
You are letting yourself be pushed around like this. And the problem is not her, right? She's a problem. The problem here, though, is not her. It's you.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have expressed, hey, I don't like this. This is not even a boundary. You're just like, I don't like this. And she was like, okay. What does that mean?
Yeah.
You know, because there's a difference between having a boundary, right? Like, and I was thinking about this the other day, right? If we went out to a restaurant, right, and someone put a plate of shit in front of you, would you be like, oh, well, I don't want to be a bother. Like, I guess I'll just eat this.
Yeah. You'd be like, no, fuck
no, send it back. Why? Because I do not deserve to eat shit. Right? And you know, ask yourself this question. If someone handed you a plate of shit at a restaurant, are you the kind of guy to fucking sit there and eat the plate of shit because you think they might be upset? Or, even in the scenario here, right, let's relate it a little bit better to you. If they put a bowl of shit in front of you and you're like, well, actually, I didn't ask for this bowl of shit. They're like, oh, sorry about that. They bring you back another bowl of shit. Right? Or maybe instead of a plate, it's a bowl this time. It just looks a little different. Right? Are you then going to be like, you know what? I'm going to send this back. Hopefully the third time they'll give me a plate of not shit. No. Yeah. Why would you? You're not staying at that fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
Because in your mind, right, it's not about can they get this right. It's like, dude, I don't fucking deserve this.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's what he's doing.
But
he is hoping that they are not going to bring them back. He's hoping his girl is not going to bring him back to shit.
Yep.
He was like, you stood up for yourself in the first part. You were like, yeah, I don't want this bowl of shit. Take it back.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, sure, sir. Then they did it again, and you were like, maybe I don't want to make them mad, but like, I don't like this.
Yep. Knowing full well that you told them, I do not want a bowl of shit. I am ordering the steak.
Yeah.
And they took that back and were like, we're still going to give this man shit.
Put this shit on a plate in a bowl and give it back to him.
Yeah, give it back to him. And you're like, all right, maybe the third time.
That's exactly what she's doing. Instead of texting, guess what she's doing? She's just emailing the nigga.
Yeah, exactly.
like that's what it is.
Yep.
And so it's like, for you taking it back a third time is not going to help anything. But see that, but also, you know, he has to understand that it's like, dude, this is how she sees him. This is how she sees you. Is that she does not respect you. She does not care about you. She doesn't give a fuck. Like, none of this. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, why am I chopping myself at the knees for this person that does not give a fuck about me? Like, what are you getting out of this? You know, I get it. You said you're weak, you know, and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, you need to, it's because you're not self-reflecting. Yes. You're just not.
And it's like I was talking about before. You have already labeled yourself in that manner of like, yes, like, call me what you want. Say I'm an idiot, say I'm weak, whatever, right? you have already entertained those ideas to yourself.
Yeah.
And you put out that frequency, attracting this woman that is used to dealing with those kind of fucks. Because the ex is probably sitting back, probably in a similar, probably a better light than you, but he's probably sitting in a better position, but a similar light where he's weak. He's like, this bitch got a new fucking man, but, you know, I'm not really tied to her, so I'll accept this secondhand slop too, where she's just going between the both of us. You know what I mean? And for him, he also doesn't respect himself, right? And she's a prime beacon displaying that both of you guys have no self-respect.
I think the other dude does. I think the other dude looks at it just because she keeps going back to him. I think the other dude is just, I think he's one of those guys where he's just like, bitch, I don't fucking want you. I don't really care for you. And she likes that. She likes the idea of just like, oh my God, you know, because a lot of girls sit there and they say it. They're like, oh my God, these guys that are bad for me, they're the bad guy, or they're the bad boy, if you will. They're the more aggressive and dominant style guy. Like, that's what I want. I think her husband is just not that. I think homeboy is just completely opposite of her husband. It could be that he's weak too, but I just don't think that she would go back from a weak guy to another weak guy.
No, I think so. I see what you're saying, and what you're saying is absolutely valid, right? What I'm getting at though is like they broke up for some reason, right? The ex and her, right? Mm-hmm. So inherently he's got to have been a weak guy, otherwise she would have tried to stay with him, unless he was like, I'm done with you.
Yeah, and that's what I think he broke up with her, and that's why she's like.
But any man that respects himself, that has determined a woman is not really worth his time anymore, is not going to keep allowing her to come back and do stupid like email me and fucking iPhone messaging me and like all that intimate shit, because apparently it wasn't just texting, it had to have been some type of intimate communications for him to get pissed off. So it arguably says that they're just two weak men that are displaying probably different tendencies, which is why she's obsessed with him. But it's still at the same time just two weak men that are on similar frequencies that she is attracted to. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting at, is like, you're weak and then he's weak, and she's a direct beacon of fucking with weak men.
Yeah, like she just enjoys the fuckery of just, you know, I've always said it, man, because look, I listen to these, you know, books, the book talks and all that kind of stuff, the whole, you know, spicy book, whatever. Like, what I've noticed in women is women like it when a man just comes in and takes her from their guy.
Right.
They like that shit. That is hot to them. They don't matter. It doesn't matter if the guy is weak, as long as he's not weaker than the guy that she's with.
Right.
Even he could be a weak guy, but even if he's just like 52 and he's 48% weak, you know, she's like, he's 52. Yeah, steal me. Yeah. Fucking steal me away. I'll do anything, you know, to keep this like espionage and, you know, back in the back going on. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think she really kind of gets off on it because she's like, I can't live without you. She's using these manipulation tactics to prove to herself that you are weak.
Yep.
And she's like, dude, like, is he really weak? Is he gonna stand on it this time? No. Fool. It worked. I got him. Yay. Got him. And then you stay and you're like, fuck, dude, maybe she'll get her act together.
Yeah.
No, she just loves having this weak man around, these two weak men to bounce back and forth. And she gets this little high off of it, and she gets her excitement and all that shit from fucking with you guys.
Yeah. Like, she's using both of y'all pretty much.
Yeah. Because do you think any fucking actual strong man, like a celebrity or an Elon Musk, an entrepreneur, is going to allow this kind of behavior in their life?
Yeah.
Fuck no, dude. They are going to be like, dude, you're cut off. Actually, I'm going to make sure there's no way you can ever talk to me ever again, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck. Because you are a detriment.
Pregnant, you know. But
True, right.
But
like, that's the thing. Like,
yeah, if they cut ties, it's cut. It's
because they know they don't want you being that woman holding his arms behind his back as he gets fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Whether that's a career or in person, you know what I mean? So they're like, I'm not allowing this.
And that's what I've said, you know, back in the beginning of the show, is that there are so many dudes that are just slaves to the coochie, bro.
Yeah.
They will do anything. It doesn't matter how many times that girl stabs them in the back. They're just like, no, it's okay. Oh, it's fine. And it's like, bruh, like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I was having this thought process earlier today, and I was just like, bro, when is it, like, how do guys need to come to us, like, this epiphany, I guess, if you will, because I know I did, and it was kind of later in life, but I finally got there to where it's like, girls are not that special. You know what I mean? They're not that special. They're not as unique as you think they are. They're all the fucking same. The one that you see that you like, bro, there's a fucking 100,000 that look just like her, that act just like her, that are just like her. It just is what it is, man. And once you get to that point in life where you see women as just like, they're not that special. I've seen 100 of you. Like, I don't really care. You know, you start to look at things really differently. You know, you start to just like, I don't really care. Like, if things work out with her, cool. If they don't, I really don't care. You start to focus on so many other things. You start to see the world is just a lot bigger than it actually is. Because dudes tunnel vision on a girl. And they're just like, oh my God, this is my entire world. And it's like, bro, what are you doing, man? Like, you're a man. The only way that you get any type of like respect or anything like that is if you go out in the world and you create something. If you're just sitting here hanging on this girl, bro, you're gonna get disrespected time and time again, and that's you, bro. You're hanging on to this girl. You're not out creating something, building something, being something. And you don't have to be an entrepreneur like us to build something and be something. No, you can do that in a job. You can be the best in a sales job. You can be the best in a corporate job. You can be the best in something. Like, you don't have to go the entrepreneur route to build something and be something. You know, you can always be like that guy in a company. You can be that guy in whatever it is that you're good at. You know, you just gotta grow to be that guy. A lot of dudes are just like, no, I'm just gonna, work my little job, go home, smoke weed, play video games, and that's me. And you think you're gonna get respect from a woman. Like, no, you're just not. So, yeah, man. You guys let us know what you think about it in the comments, as well as everything we've gone over today. There was a lot we went over. I wish we could have cooked more on the military thing. We'll probably come back to it. You know what I mean? Because our boy over here, he gets passionate about it. You know? But yeah, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys so much. I will see you guys on Tuesday. He'll be back on Sunday. And yeah, let us know what you think about everything on the down in the comments, all that good stuff. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Peace.